Now let's continue talking about Active Directory command line tools, and I want to show you a couple of tools here that are really cool and really easy. And these are the LDI FDE tool and the CSVDE tool. And don't expect you to remember those. I will actually show them to you. Let's open a command prompt, click on Start Run, and then type CMD in the open bar and bring this up. And let's start off with CSVDE. So if I just type CSVDE / put a space / question mark, you will see all the information about how to use this thing. Now what we can do with these things is the CSVDE is great because I can export my Active Directory data out using the LDAP import functionality, but it's going to put it into a comma-separated values file, which in English for Microsoft people can mean Excel, because we can then open that up in Excel and edit it or play with it. Now what's interesting though is, you need to watch this for the exam because you will hear about both of these tools on the exam, and just go ahead and make a note of this, that both of these commands can import and export objects. They just use different formats. However, CSVDE can export and import, but it cannot modify or delete. LDI FDE can actually modify and delete. And I'll kind of give you some of the ifs, ands, and buts about these as we play with them here. But look first of all here at CSVDE. Here's a real good example of something we can do with this. And I'm just going to use this one right here. If I type CSVDE and then F, and the F, if I scroll up here, you'll notice means the file name that I want to output it to, and I will just say output CSV. Now let me point out one other thing about these commands that you need to be aware of for the exam. They're both defaulting to output mode. They will send the data out. If I want to input anything, I will have to use the I command here. I would have had to put I right here. If I put the I here, it would read from this file. Actually, I would still have to put the F, but this would tell it to read from this file and bring it back in. But if I leave the I off, it's just an output mode. If I hit enter here, you will notice it connected, it got it, and now it has, notice, 221 entries exported. Well, let's go look at that. If I click on Start and go to Computer, if you remember from my prompt here, I was at Users Administrator, so I'll go into C, Users Administrator. There's my output file. I'll open that, and I'll select a program, and I will do Notepad, and notice I'll make it full screen. There is my Active Directory data. Now you notice it looks kind of clunky here, but if I opened it in Excel, I can tell it to import it and separate it out, and I can see it in each column, and then I can go and I can use this to kind of see how it's laid out, and then I can use copy and paste and so forth, but I can import tremendous amount of users in here, so it's for sticking a lot of people in there at once. LDI FDE, if I will just do the same thing, then it will show me how to use LDI FDE. And so starting right here, very same functionalities on these things, and you'll notice that if I do LDI FDE export, and this time I'll send it out to export LDF just like they say, and I'll execute that one, and this time I'll go out to my disk location, and you see export LDF. Now if I open this with Notepad, you're going to notice something very different. Let me make it full screen. It's in a totally different layout. Notice here's a complete record. Right here is a complete record. So some people may like the comma separated, some people may like the LDI FDE. Now here's the big deal. I can make a change in LDF. I can make a change and then import it back in. So I can modify things and I can delete things with LDF. But now there's another couple of things you need to watch. Neither command lets me import a password. So if I create objects or import objects with these, they're not going to have a password, which means they're going to be disabled by default. So I'd have to go in, reset the user's password, then enable the account, and I'm good to go. These are tools you need to be aware of. Whether you're going to use them, whether you like the idea or not, it's up to you. But just go play with these two tools. Read through the various switches. Just familiarize yourself with them. Play with them just a little bit. Go out there and look on Microsoft's TechNet. Just read about them just a little bit. And you should be very easy to get past these kind of questions on the exam. Both of these can be used to import data. You can import passwords. So the accounts will be disabled. You have to go in, reset the password, then enable the account. CSVDE will let you export and import, but you can't change or delete. If you can remember those things, you've got it. So go read a little bit, play with a little bit, and you'll be good to go on these two command line tools.